Charles Leclerc produced a stunning lap to beat Sergio Perez to pole at the Azerbaijan P as Ferrari and Red Bull contested the thrilling qualifying session in Baku. A dramatic session which saw a red flag after a Lance Stroll crash in Q1 came down to the final moments as the top four all appeared to have a chance of pole going into their final runs. But it was Leclerc, as he has done on several occasions this season, who was able to produce when it mattered most, sealing his sixth pole in 8 races this campaign with a 141.3. Perez, the race winner last night at Monaco, maintained his excellent form by beating teammate and World Championship leader Max Verstappen to second place. Carlos Sainz, who went into the final round of flying laps at the top of the challenge sheet, was fourth for Ferrari, with the second Ferrari almost a full second clear of George Russell in fifth. Russell beat Lewis Hamilton, who finished 7th, with Russell in 5th, after being forced to scrap his way through the first segment of qualifying. Hamilton's starting position was under threat, but he has since been cleared of driving unnecessarily slowly for holding up both McLarens at the end of P2. Pierre Gasly was in between the Mercedes for AlphaTauri in 6th, with teammate Yuki Tsunoda in 8th. Sebastian Vettel joins Aston Martin teammate Lance Stroll, making significant contact with a barrier in Q2, but was fortunate not to sustain damage and recovered to finish 9th, with Fernando Alonso rounding out the top 10 for Alpine. A cracker of an Azerbaijan Grand Prix is now in style, with Red Bull confident their race pace will enable them to challenge Leclerc for victory. It gets underway at 12 UK time, but Leclerc has repeatedly outperformed his teammate Sainz and the Red Bulls in qualifying, but the Spaniard appears to be a genuine threat for pole as he was faster Ferrari in both Q2 and the first run of Q3. With the top four covered by less than 0.2 after the first Q3 run, it was only one's pole going into the final seconds, but Leclerc found the most improvement to secure a fourth successive start at the front of the grid. He was almost 0.3 clear of Perez, who edged teammate Verstappen to second by less than a tenth, with Sainz a further tenth behind. Honestly, all pole positions are good to Leclerc, but this one I didn't expect because, especially in Q1 and Q2, I really struggled to see that we were faster, but it came together in the last lap and I managed to do a good job, so I'm extremely happy. Despite his run of poles, Leclerc is seeking to end a run of 4 races without a win, which has enabled Verstappen to establish a 9-point lead over him at the top of the standings, with Perez having closed to within 15 points of Verstappen by winning in Monaco. The battle between the Red Bull promises to be fascinating subplot on Sunday. It required a special shootout to match the drama we've seen at the end of Q1, however, when the red flag caused by Stroll's crash left the session to resume with just 2:30 on the clock. All but 6 of 20 cars went out on track, and the ones at the back of the long queue had just formed in the pit lane, only just made it time to start their final lap. There were accusations of power players. Williams Alex Albon claimed Fernando Alonso intentionally slowed down his final lap, but his complaints were in vain as he exited alongside teammate Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen and Lance Stroll, who crashed out. Having momentarily appeared under threat in Q1, Hamilton needed a tow from Russell at the end of Q2 to ensure his place in the shootout, but before he came under investigation, potentially going too slowly as he tried to secure the correct track position. And yet, Hamilton struggled to keep pace with Russell once more, with the Brit finding 0.2 on his teammate to ensure his regular spot of the best of the rest this season. Mercedes boss Toto Wolff admitted after the session he's finding it challenging to comprehend the gap between his cars and the teams that are expected to rival for the World Championship this season. It's a long time, and we're lacking pretty much everywhere. I wish I didn't have to look at any of these kind of overhays in the future anymore, he added. And yeah, it does look like another tough day for Mercedes. Yeah, this track just isn't really suiting them. It seems to be street circuits with all the bumps that just don't suit them, but Hamilton can't marry suits to race tomorrow, so let's see what happens. Moving on then to qualifying, just looking through the order, starting with Charles Leclerc, and yeah, another brilliant pole lap from him, and yeah, he really is on fire at the moment. Perez ahead of Verstappen again, he's really finding some form, and it's going to be interesting at Red Bull if Perez really seems to be getting into a rhythm now. Verstappen in third, I think he'll be disappointed, but you know, at the end of the day, it's not a disaster. He's still running a race, and Red Bull still have really strong race pace. Sainz in fourth, I think it's disappointing because you know he did such great first lap, to have it knocked off like that must be frustrating. Russell in fifth, yeah, Mercedes in nowhere, like I said, he maximised the job, so he'll be happy with that. Gasly in sixth as well, getting ahead of Hamilton, I think he'll be pretty pleased with that. Hamilton seventh, got cleared, so you know, it's not a disastrous position. I wonder if it could be like Spain where his car's more suited to race, so yeah, it'll be intriguing to see. Tsunoda in eighth as well, I think he'll be pretty happy with that. Vettel in ninth as well. Aston Martin seems to be really getting confident with that car, but except for the Stroll stinkers day. Alonso in 10th, yeah, they showed some really good pace on Friday, so I don't know if maybe they'll be a bit disappointed by that, but you know, it's still not bad, starting in the points. And then Norris and Ricciardo missing out. I think they would have liked to get into Q3, so maybe they will be slightly disappointed. Ocon in 13th, when you look where Alonso is, he comfortably got into too, so I think he'll be a bit disappointed. And then the Alfa Romeos, I just don't know what happened to them, especially Bottas. Joe was flying in Q1, so I was a bit disappointed to see him out in Q2, especially so easily. But yeah, Bottas just seemed to have no pace today. But moving on then to the Q1 eliminations, all kind of got unlucky with that red flag. Magnussen will be frustrated, I think, because that has had some decent pace. Schumacher last again. It's not going well for him at the moment, is it? Lance Stroll obviously had that disaster, and yeah, it wasn't really great when you see Vettel going to Q3, and Albon was furious at Alonso. To be fair, I do think he kind of had a point. It didn't look pretty deliberate from Alonso, that going wide. But yeah, I don't think they would have stood much chance of getting through anyway, to be honest. And Latifi is just, behind Albon as usual. That's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, and any helps comments down below. Follow us, link description for daily F1 news, and subscribe to my channel, and that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.